All right, guys, so we're out here on this mountain lake in New York State, late summer. So historically, bass fishing for me on lakes has slowed down in the late summer, especially in the part of the state where I grew up. Not as much since I've moved here though, so hopefully we can make something happen. I still feel a little more confident this time of year fishing in lakes, or I'm sorry, in rivers versus lakes and ponds this time of year. But this is an area that has meant a lot to me, this part of the state and this specific lake, because when I was growing up, my grandparents used to have a house on here and used to vacation here, and that's what made me really fall in love with this area. And so I try to come out here at least once or twice per summer. It's about an hour and a half from where I live. So we're throwing a small Rebel jerkbait right now. Historically, when I started fishing, I would get skunked a lot, and when I really started catching stuff, I would start, or I tended to have the best luck on smaller baits. And so I kind of just stick with that philosophy right now. I've never really fished, for bass in anywhere in, the Midwest, the South, anywhere like that. I've always been a New York State resident my entire life and have done the very large majority of my fishing in the state. And I stick to the philosophy that I would rather throw something smaller and at least catch something rather than go home and get skunked, or rather go home skunked just because I threw too large bait and there's not much of anything that can actually take it. That's not to say there's not large bass in this state. I just, that's just where my mindset is. So hopefully we can get some topwater action to happen for you guys. If not, that'll be a decent indication that most of everything has went deep. But I actually did get a smallmouth in here earlier, but ended up not really having a good filming angle. Oh, felt like something just tried to hit it right here. We did get a little tap. I'm not sure if that was a fish or if we hit an obstacle, but the best way to do it, the best way to find out, is to cast at this again. Just kind of get myself reoriented with the kayak here. Some in the afternoon, so some of the wake and all that starting to pick up. We got a couple power boaters out here, so that doesn't always help the scenario here, but hopefully we can cast right about where we were and see if we can get something. All right, let's see here. I did see something under here that looked a little like a spawn bed. That was likely earlier in the season. Again, it's mid-August. All right, yeah, it doesn't look like we're gonna get any takers in this spot, so we're gonna cover water and try to get to another spot of the lake. All right, guys, so this is probably gonna be the last spot that I'm gonna be trying topwater. Just such a juicy looking line, shoreline here for this specific island. You can see all these down limbs. Again, if this were month and a half ago, I think I'd be doing quite well. I just haven't come here as much this year. I've been hiking a lot and really doing the challenge of doing the 46 high peaks. So that has kind of, taken away from some of the fishing. The thing you can see here is that there really is not all that much vegetation in this water. This lake really doesn't have a lot in the way of vegetation at all, honestly. There's just a lot of drop-offs, some rocky areas, and then some with really boring bottom, as you can see here. It's really neat, at least, that you can see the bottom, but which is pretty unique actually for a lot of the lakes in this mountain range. And so there's really only a couple where you can see the bottom like this. So hopefully there's something hiding in here. That was not that great of a cast at all. So hopefully I'll be proven wrong again about what I'm saying about the bottom, or I'm sorry, about top water. It is also early afternoon, mid-August, so we're kind of bringing a knife to gunfight here, but you know. All right, there you go. There's the plop right in front of it. Now, normally you'd have to be a little worried about these, about weeds in areas like this, but it's pretty clear casting here, honestly. As long as you don't wrap it up in a tree branch, you're pretty much golden. So I'll take a few more casts around here and hope there's something. It's just so scenic and beautiful around here. Absolutely love it, and really fortunate to live in this area. Oh yeah, here we go. Caught the one weed basically in the entire lake after saying that there's not much that there is for obstacles, so that's cool. And we're about to get our eyes poked out, so that's cool. Okay, cool. All right, continuing the cover water strategy here. We just paddled a little ways from where I just was, so I promise I'm not lying to you about the top water. This is definitely gonna be around the last area that I throw some top water on. Be nice to get one more on the top water. I'm pretty angry at myself about that bad filming angle where we could have had a decent smallie to show you guys. It was probably, I'd say, 1.5 pound, 2-pounder, which by New York mountain standards is actually not bad. All right, come on, Rebel. Yeah, I've had a lot of luck with these things. I'm not out, endorsing specific brands. They're not paying me any money here. But you can typically pick these up a couple dollars cheaper than a Rapala, and they are, broadly the same bait, the jerk bait, and a Rapala was, to my knowledge, the original. But cast for cast, these things kind of hold with them, honestly. So if you're someone that loses a lot of bait, or you're really doing this on a budget, then Rebels are not a bad way to go. And they do at least have this unique like teal blue paint scheme that I think, in stained water works pretty good. This is clear water, so any fish in here is going to have no problem seeing bait to begin with. So these colors really are not all that necessary, but it's what I had for a jerk bait, so that's what we're sticking with for the next foreseeable minutes here. So yeah, as I said, not much in the way of weeds. There's these, I don't really know what they are. They kind of look like almost like a wild onion sort of deal, but this is actually incredibly shallow right here. So oh, something just tried to take it. Are we on? Are we on? No, we are not. But I think you guys probably saw that jump. We're definitely going to go back for it. Might have just been a small panfish, though. Let's see. It took it right on the drop. I love when they do that. That was not a good cast at all. They're just at a bad angle there, too. We're going to have to... Whoop. Oh. We were reeling fast. It kind of just went towards the bottom there. All right, let's get ourselves reoriented here. Hope we can land whatever that was. If it's a bluegill, I'm going to be a little bit salty, honestly, if I'm going through all this effort for it. But I can't believe it's actually something this shallow right now. That's actually wild. Again, mid-August, at least in the part of the state that I grew up in, everything would shut down this time of year, and anything shallow water. Oh, come on. That is literally right where it was. You gotta be kidding me. That was literally right around where I casted. Let's try the other side here. We are on. Oh, wow. Oh, he broke off. No. No, I don't know if he's gonna go. I don't know if he's gonna go for it a third time. That actually looked to be a pretty decent bass. That is upsetting. I try not to really, my thing is when I'm using these treble hooks, I try not to really hook set all that hard. You know, I really, again, I'm a catch and release person, and so I try not to damage the fish as much as possible. And you know, trebles unfortunately are kind of, you know, something that's kind of double-edged sword, because, you know, it'll help you a lot to not lose fish, although that was a horrible demonstration of that just now. But by the same token, I mean, you can really hurt a fish with one of them. So I try and be as careful as I can with them here. All right, we did another bait switch here. I'm throwing on a Phobie. I bought this a while ago. This is my first time actually fishing one. So we'll give this thing a shot, see if we can downsize and get whatever is going for that. I believe it was a panfish, but you know, I just want to get a fish on the camera for you guys at this point, honestly. And it's technically a fish, even though I really don't like to target them. Just, you fish enough and you kind of become a little bit of a species snob. But we'll see what happens here. All right, guys, we're on. We are on the Phobie. Look at those jumps. It's not that big of one, but we will take that. Definitely smaller than the one that I caught earlier and missed the film angle for. I got him right on the top here. All right, there we go. Came out clean and nice release. All right, and so I'm glad I got a fish on camera for you guys. Definitely wasn't the better of the two, but still gave us a good jump and still put up a fight like smallmouth always do. And so that was pretty satisfying. Definitely new to the whole GoPro game, so unfortunately I just didn't have the right angle on the head strap going, so didn't get that first one on camera for you. But you know, this is definitely the start of something. I love fishing and love hiking, and so definitely want to take you guys along for some more adventures. And so if you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button, and it'll definitely help me out a lot, and we'll catch you in the next one. Take care.